turn it around.
It's Down to Business with Jack Miller. Forget what they teach you in school. This is real life. Not Wall Street, but Main Street. A real show on what's really involved with starting and running a business, with all the ups and downs. Our guests will answer your questions and provide you with valuable information. Stay tuned and join in the conversation. Call us at 305-541-2350. Follow us on Facebook at Jack Miller Down to Business or on Twitter at HJackMiller1.
Much more.
Hey, this is Jack Miller, everyone. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. I am super excited for the show today. We have a really great lineup. Of course, we have Mr. Todd Cohen, the commercial corner man here. We have Wanda, our producer. We even have another producer, Ingrid, who I'm really excited about is with us today. I was laying in bed last night, and I always thought out a story of laying in bed. Nothing happens, as everyone knows. But my wife each week, I was telling her, she each week says to me, are you excited about the show and who's on? And I said, yeah, I'm so excited about today's show because not only we have Todd talking about real estate, we have Brad Thomas, who's a leading expert in REITs throughout the country. The guy writes for Forbes and a real big shot on the show. I'm lucky he's here. He also happens to know Donald Trump personally and is writing a book about Donald Trump. But my wife says, how come you could be so excited about each show? And I don't know. I really feel that way. Every show I'm super excited about, and I'm really excited about today's show. Next week, we have Sidney Powell on, who is a former DOJ attorney and a many years private attorney who wrote a book called License to Lie about the over-criminalization in America and about the criminal justice system, which is unjust, I believe. I would encourage everyone to go out and get her book if you can. In fact, I think 3 weekends ago, we went to like a bunch of bookstores and she was sold out all over the place. So Sidney Powell next week is going to be a great, great guest. And, all is good. All is good. I don't know. I went to the movies this week and I decided I'm sick of going to the movies. My wife and I are spontaneous moviegoers. We'd go like a Sunday afternoon or late Saturday night on the last minute. And now the theater near us has stadium seating, which on the surface sounds good. But the reality is you can't go last minute because the shows are always sold out. The seats are 2x2. We used to go to Costco and get our tickets 2 for $15 or 2 for $16. I used my AARP card, get popcorn for $2.50. They did away with the popcorn for $2.50. And now you got to go online if you want a ticket because they're sold out. So not only do you have to pay full price, you got to pay a registration fee. Then if there's 3 of you, it's like impossible to sit together. If there's another couple, it's impossible. If you're a single, it's impossible. But that's not even the worst. So going to the movie is just nuts today. The worst part, and it grosses me out, is they give you a blanket. Do you ever have that, Todd? They give you a blanket in the theaters?
I don't take it. It's nasty.
It's nasty. What do you think happened to that blanket?
I have no idea. I don't want to know.
Well, I can tell you, for me, nothing happens good with the blanket. But maybe for the guy before me, something good. But I got to deal with his consequences.
Right.
And it's gross. I don't know how they do that. So the blanket's gross. And you know what else is gross? Everyone in Florida wears shorts. And they all wear sandals. So
right.
You have some big guy next to you who's hairy and sweaty and looks like
and
me.
His feet are so gnarly and nasty, and they smell. And,
oh my God! And they're rubbing themselves all over the chair. I can't concentrate on the movie.
Right, and everyone's texting and their phones are lighting up. You don't care about that?
No, that doesn't bother me. All I'm thinking about is I'm like it's almost like touching this guy's feet. And I'm picturing the guy who was in the seat before me. So now if I go to the movies, I have to wrap myself up. I wear sneakers. I wear jeans. I wear boots. I'm like the man in the bubble because I don't want to touch anyone. It's disgusting.
Now, what did you go see? You don't even remember, do you?
I don't even remember. I couldn't focus. I don't know. I'm going to start taking like a sheet or towels and put them down on the chairs so I don't have to touch the chairs.
Well, there was another movie theater mass killing again in the last week,
that's what we saw. We saw that.
So, I mean, getting out of a movie theater alive these days is just a win for everyone right now. It's unbelievable.
I don't mind that. I just don't like to touch people and have them touch me.
There you go.
I'd rather take the guy with the gun than the other stuff.
I don't think you mean that, but okay.
No, I don't. I'm joking
Starting
around.
to sound like Donald Trump now.
We're going to talk about Trump today a ton. I'm really excited about that.
I know
but the movies is become a pain in the neck. But I tell you, I'm really excited. Every week I notice I'm getting more and more positive response from the show. Literally, I'm getting calls and emails and texts from people, and they're all great and they're positive, and it really keeps me going. I just want to thank everyone for that because it's exciting. It really is, and I really appreciate it. Anyway, do we have time for the Zig Ziglar moment? I have a real good motivational minute. Let's play this, and we'll talk some more after.
There seems to be a few determining factors for those who overcome. First of all, they've committed themselves, and commitment prepares you to meet obstacles and downfalls. Because if you've made a commitment to do something and disaster strikes or calamities take place or things don't go your way, you immediately start thinking, how do I solve the problem? If you have no commitment, your first thought is, how do I get out of this deal? And we generally find what we're looking for. And as I laughingly tell people, some people are about as committed as a kamikaze pilot on its 39th mission. Now, whether it's in a marriage or getting your education or achieving a weight loss goal or a sales goal or an academic goal, it doesn't make any difference what it is. Along the way, there's going to be those setbacks and reversals and disappointments. Again, if you've made the commitment, what you do is you continue on. People who've made the commitment not only and are overcomers, but they also prepare themselves. They expect to win. They prepare to win, and they take the necessary steps in order to get there. This commitment, combined with the persistence and the unshakable belief that eventually they will win, is what separates them. Interestingly enough, most of them I found are very humble people. They recognize that they cannot do it themselves. They need help. And that's where faith plays such an incredibly important role in what we do. So when you start adding humility, commitment, persistence, and character is the ability to carry out a good resolution long after the excitement of the moment has passed. Character is what takes them through. I've had so many coaches who teach this philosophy, and Charlie's one of them, who have said that these kids had character. They hung in there. When it looked darkest, they never gave up. That's what overcomers do. They never give up. They keep after it.
I'll tell you, that's a perfect lead-in for Donald Trump, because that's really what life is. We all have tons of setbacks and tons of problems, but we have to plow right through them. And that's what sets, I think, the winners as opposed to the people who give up. We really have to be an overcomer. And Zig Ziglar, I think, has it right all the time. Plus,
it's so true. And making commitments is number one in any job, really, but certainly in sales and working for yourself. The first person you need to make a commitment to is yourself on a daily basis.
You got to learn how to overcome, because there's all kinds of setbacks and obstacles in life. That's just what life is. And I happen to love Zig Ziglar and love his accent.
His voice, he's like an older Matthew McConaughey. It's unbelievable. I never realized it.
Zig Ziglar is great. My wife's actually texting me now saying he sounds creepy and depressing, literally as we speak, but I don't think so. I love Zig Ziglar. He's great. And I have news for you. I'm going to segue to Donald Trump, then we're going to get Brad on the phone. I actually heard a fantastic interview this week by, I don't know her name, she was the author of one of Trump's books. And one of the takeaways from the interview that I heard, and I'm really inspired by the guy, a little bit of a loose cannon, but he plows through problems and he won't admit defeat. He won't apologize. And I have to tell you, when he said the comment about McCain, I was very upset, because I'm a big fan of McCain and a big fan of veterans, and these prisoners, what they went through is unbelievable. So we could walk around in freedom. So they have my admiration. But I give Trump credit, because when he has a problem, and he has had a ton of them, like all of us, he plows right through it with bravado, and the force of his personality gets him through it. And I think I can learn a lot about that, because when I get problems, I get depressed and lay on my sofa and cry like a little baby sometimes. But we need to all be strong and fight through it. So
I think he got himself into a lot of trouble recently with his attack on the lawyer.
Come on.
Who was trying to breastfeed during the meeting.
It's funny. I had a whole thing. I was going to talk about breastfeeding, but I'm not going to go into it. I'll save that for another time. But you know what? The truth is, do we want a president or do we want a leader who lives in a shell, who hasn't experienced anything? So what? He said it was disgusting. The truth is, I know women breastfeed and pregnancy. I don't want to go into pregnancy breasts too much. By the way, I think it's amazing that I could say breasts on the air and no one's like,
nice, right?
Yeah. But you know what? They should do it in private. And I don't know what happened.
I agree. I think it was a tactic by her and maybe a smart one, but he's getting into trouble because 50% of our population is going to side with her regardless of what he thinks. And look, my wife, to her credit, is going through it now, and she went through it with our first child. And you know, it's a serious responsibility that women have, and it hurts, and they get into a lot of pain, and there are times that they just need to do it. Now, it's like a guy, I mean, if he has to go to the bathroom, he's not going to just drop trow in the middle of a meeting. I mean, you need to excuse yourself to do certain things, and I think it's similar, and I agree with you. There are tactful ways to do everything, and that clearly wasn't one on her part.
I promise you, we're going to talk about breastfeeding another time because I have a lot to say on it.
But don't you find at times Donald Trump to be obstreperous? I mean,
what's that mean?
I mean, it's like truculent. He's garrulous.
Todd,
I apologize.
Todd, you're using big words. I didn't go to college. I'm dyslexic.
He's over the top. He's a loose cannon.
He is. But he says some things that are out of line, and he is a loose cannon. But that's what makes his personality. I'm so sick of tired of these candidates who won't say anything. They're scared to say anything, of insulting people. And you know what? Sometimes that loose cannon, I think,